Hello, Graham. Alright, so for this video lesson this week, what I want to do is just touch upon the ending of the Snail Mail song, Pristine. I feel like you've been doing really great with the song, but the thing that we've probably talked about the least, and the thing that you're probably least comfortable with, is the ending. I know that Christian also wants to add a third song for you guys to practice a little bit to get going, and that you've already worked on it a little bit in the band rehearsal. And Christian said it's so easy that you guys can most likely devote most of the time to it in the band rehearsal as opposed to in the drum lessons. But at the end of the lesson, I will look up the name and the title of the song and the artist so you can at least listen to it and get used to it, okay? I have it over here in my email. I just have to look at it, and I don't remember myself. It sounds pretty straightforward, though, so give it a listen. And then when I see you next week, we will touch upon that a little bit. But Christian told me what's more important is just to tighten up everything in the Snail Mail song and just to get that ending. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the ending from when you do the rim knocks part to the very end. But I wanted to describe what happens. So I know that you got really good at knowing where the rim knock part is, but it's still tricky to get both bass drums locked in to the and of one and one itself. Remember, if you're having a really hard time with it, just put the bass drums on one. I know this isn't the best angle here, but if you're having a hard time with it on the and of one, just keep that bass on one, like this. That'll be fine. Of course, you know what we're ideally looking for is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 1. Now, you got really good at knowing where that is and where the build is that goes into it. Now, when you do that build, just do the build and just go directly into your primary beat, that line 1 that you do the 2 measures of. Though it would be ideal if you did that on the ride cymbal after that build. Now, I think it's really smart for you to listen to that ending with the lyrics, the recording, so you get a good sense of what you have to play at that moment relative to what it sounds like lyrically, so that you can tell where you are and where you have to change things by vocal cues as opposed to counting how many times you're playing things. But for now, let's talk about that. So once you get back into that first beat that you're playing to the tail end of the song, imagine looping that line, you know, that one 9 times. Of course, we're going to move it to the ride. I did it on the hi-hat there just so you could really hear it. But imagine after your build, you're going to do that 9 times. But then on the 10th time, you're going to do 2 very slow measures that are kind of almost slowing down as you do it, of the beat you do when you go like this. Do you remember in the song when you do that beat? You got really good at it. But what you're going to have to do is so you notice what I did was I took 2 measures of that. But I did them like really ridiculously slow. That's what it sounds like to me. So imagine you were playing your normal 2 measures 9 times in a row, and then what would be the 10th time, you're immediately going into that. It's going to sound like this. Listen. 1, 2. Actually, I'll show you from the build so you can see how this all fits. And then I'm going to press play on the song and play along with the song so you can see that, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, during that weird end moment where it's like kind of slowing down, you're gonna wanna really watch Christian, okay, and the other members of your band, so that they're all slowing down together. I'm not exactly sure how you guys are gonna link all that up. If it sounds like a total disaster, Christian might decide to change that a little bit, okay? All right. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play it from that part of the song, okay, and I'm gonna play it along to the recording, so you can get a good sense of how that's going to roll. You have something that you can like kind of reference. I'll do my best at least. Something like that. Of course, you can't ever lock into that perfect. Okay, so anyways, just to finish up, I would work on that ending there, okay? It's the main thing you want to do this week. But a song that I want you to listen to, which will be the third song you guys will be working on, we'll spend a little time talking about next week, is Come Through by The Regrets, okay? It's called Come Through by The Regrets. So listen to that song, Graham, and I hope you have a good week, okay? I'll see you next week. All right, bye.